Hey guys, for any of you guys who are not watching this live, actually, we're going to do a little live hangout for the people that actually have joined. I'm going to be installing the Vaterra Ascender GCM front motor mount kit into my Ascender while we chat and do whatever here. With that, that's what this one will cover. I'll also have videos specifically on this for the Cliff Notes version of this whole thing. But if you just want to have some background noise, this thing might be useful for you. Other than that, that's what's happening. So. I didn't put much advance notice out there, so we only got a few guys in here now, but we'll be all right. I did keep Howard's power driver, Brett.
Oh, did you?
Yes, that should make things go faster. So, I really need to get one of these damn things. Well, get another one since they took mine. I did do a good bit of organizing in the shop in this area this weekend, though.
What's that? Sorry, I was texting.
I said I did get a good bit of organizing done this weekend.
Yeah, I started, then I stopped. I gotta start again.
Yeah, there always seems to be plenty to do.
I still can't find that stupid receiver anywhere.
I'm telling you, you sat on it.
I checked the couch.
So, I generally do not keep many stickers.
Yep.
I probably have a 50-pound bag, not 50 pound. I bet you I have a 15-pound bag of stickers. I stopped keeping them quite a while ago. Anyway, this weekend I started to actually just plaster some of them that I had laying around from like sponsor type people into the corner.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that turns out like in the end.
Yeah, I had a whole crap load of stickers. Last time somebody was here, I told them to take what they wanted, but.
Yes, people are more than happy to come take stickers. All right.
Yes, we love stickers.
Man, stickers are not my thing. One of the guys I always used to have come help me in the shop, he was a sticker freak. He would, if there was stickers around, man, everything needed a damn sticker. My Jeep has stickers on the inside from him. Like on the way back from long trips, I'd get in the back seat for something one day and I'd look at the ceiling and there'd be like a Holmes Hobby sticker and I've just got random stickers on the ceiling of the Jeep.
Well, what's up with that Jeep that was on Facebook?
What's that?
What's up with the Jeep that was on Facebook?
Oh, that Capo Racing or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know as much as I do. I posted the link. That thing's pretty serious. That's you know.
Oh yeah, that's some top of the notch.
I mean, I don't know. Well, after you like, you know, the thing is when you're getting a crazy scale like that, you can only really predict so much. I don't know what's going on. You can only predict so much durability with a kit like that.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be a lot, money-wise.
Oh yeah, I would imagine that thing will be all of $4,000 plus.
Really? Wow.
I mean.
Yeah, my guesstimate was 3.
You think 3?
Yeah.
We're getting a ton of feedback from Brian.
Me?
Yeah.
Let me put my headphones on.
Well, I'm only guessing that because I know that big 8x8 came in at like $3,500.
You don't think that Jeep's going to be more than that 8x8 was?
I don't know.
That 8x8 is all flat panel, you know, basically. In comparison, that Jeep has got to be so much harder to build.
Yeah, but it looks so good.
But it's also half the size.
I mean, that is true.
I mean, I could be way off. It could be twice as much.
So who knows? I'm anxious to see something.
Hey, Josh.
Yep.
What's that on the back wall there?
That?
Yeah, hanging up.
The Yeti?
Skins look different.
I don't know. They're just darker. I don't know why it looks so dark back there today.
When you moved, it brightened up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, your white balance.
Yeah. Weird. So, What? Interesting. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to building this thing. This thing's pretty interesting, Brett. I'm kind of, this is a whole different little style of, I've not ran a transfer case that just used the 2 pinions.
That's an extra 5 points.
Yes, it is. I also get those 5 points on my Deadbolt. Because the transmission is now a transfer case. Technically.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's scale rules. So, we shall see.
Yeah, so for that other build that I'm doing with Blue,
Yes.
I had a set of those Terra mods.
Yeah.
Actually, the GCM ones.
Right?
So I sent those to him too, just so he could mock it all up properly.
Nice. I hadn't actually seen those. I do need to go look at GCM's instructions on this. Make sure I put the transfer case and make sure I'm just putting it together, like with the input and output shafts in the right spot. Does GCM have a dash in their website? Nope.
GCM Racing.
That's CA. Weird. Damn it. Neil's calling. Hold on. Freaky Skins. Neil. I have a live Google Hangout going. People are watching me talk to you on the internet.
Hi, Neil.
Hi, internet. So, do you have something pressing? Do you have anything for me? Right. Okay. Yep. Well, it's on my Facebook page. On my Facebook, yes. Go there. Goodbye. He's so lazy. He won't go look for the link himself. Let's see. Email. Nope, wrong one. My bad. This is riveting video, I'm aware. So yeah, anyway. There's quite a bit to this little. I'm still not 100%. I need to look and see how this thing goes in there. So, all right.
I sent you 2 pictures.
You sent me a what?
2 pictures of the Terra mods.
Oh, cool. Let's see. A couple of pictures should do. There we go. Okay. The those tear mods are. So are you going to put them onto that build?
Yeah.
What are you going to put in that build for power?
Probably just a crawl master and a BRXL if I can fit it. If not,
That sounds like a surprisingly reasonable amount of power.
I gotta do something reasonable.
Right. That doesn't always seem to be the case.
It hasn't been the case yet.
Right. I'm going to build like 2 trucks in a row that are using something reasonable, a brushed power.
Well, even my brushed power isn't reasonable because I run my 6-cell, right?
Right, which is ridiculous.
But it's so cool.
What's up, Brett?
Hey, Neil.
What's happening, Neil?
Another day, another nickel.
Shit, you get that much?
Okay, well, yeah, today was only about 3 cents. I actually made a whole $1 yesterday. Today.
Hey, if you're
Woo,
making
you
money,
hiring?
you're making money, you're not losing it. You're doing good.
Damn, who is that that's got the, somebody's got a nice little setup in there. Who is that? That's, Kurt. Got a nice little room set up over there.
Which Kurt is it? Kurt Hine?
I guess, yeah.
Hey, Kurt, what's going on?
Not much, man. What are you guys doing? Neil,
Working
are
on
you
this
working?
I'm working on trucks so that I can be ready for Colorado.
When is that?
It is the end of April.
Yeah. Are you driving out or are you?
I am driving now.
He's leaving tomorrow. He's walking.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to leave. We'll try and get there Thursday so that we can go to the Twin Peaks dinner. And I believe we'll leave Monday, or sometime on Monday.
Yeah. Are you driving out or are you?
We're driving. It's only 9 hours for us.
He's walking.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to leave. We'll try and get bad echo Thursday so that we can go to the. Watching it on YouTube.
Yeah, that looked like it was Tom, whoever Tom.
Oh, it is Tom. Tom, I have to mute you. I was going to say, I was like, why is Kurt asking me the same question again?
All right.
Yeah. And why am I saying the same lame joke I said?
I know. That's what I was like. Why is Neil repeating that?
What do you have guys asking for 2016 rally decals?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I'm getting a new printer here probably in about a month.
Nice.
We'll be able to do them and won't have to outsource. We can do them right on site.
Won't that mean then we can not have to listen to Howard?
Yeah, it is quiet in here. It is nice.
For 2016 rally decals.
Oh,
Tom's back on.
Tom, we have to mute you. You can't watch it on something else and here. We're getting a bad echo from you.
Nice. We'll be able to do them and won't have to outsource. We can do them right on site.
God damn, Tom, I'm gonna have to. I don't know why it's doing it.
Yeah, but you got to remember, he didn't hear that till just now, Josh.
Oh, true.
Now he's going to hear it again.
Yeah, I don't know why that's doing that for him. All right. The last 2 times I've built a transmission, I've managed to accidentally forget to grease it the first time. So, fixed that this time.
Why'd you mute Brett?
I didn't mute Brett.
Oh, he must have muted himself.
You must have.
Looks like he's eating something.
Yeah, I muted myself because I'm eating.
Oh, good call. I have that thing where I get super crazy annoyed when I hear people eating. Like, it makes me want to go into a murderous rage at work.
Yeah, the whole smacking of your mouth thing will get me every time.
Yes.
There was a hangout here. I don't know. I think it was the last one you did, Josh. That somebody would slurp their beer every so often, and just like I cringe every time they did it.
Sounds like something I would do.
No, they were like a huge like.
Perfect. God. So I had to look up what this little groove in the side of this center mount was for on this thing, and it's for the shift servo if you want to still run 2-speed. So.
Oh yeah, on the Vaterra.
Yeah. Since GCM adjusts how you how this thing is, positioned and all. I got in contact with Vaterra last week, and I'm going to touch base with them again today. I'm going to, there's not many aftermarket options for the Ascender available yet, like, for the other more common things, knuckles, C-hubs, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to run their aluminum C-hubs and knuckles, as well as I'm going to give their shocks a try. I have kind of high hopes for their scale shocks.
Who's that?
I'm surprised that SSD hasn't made anything yet for him.
You're surprised at what?
SSD?
Yeah, it's bumpers.
Yeah, he does have bumpers. Yeah, I guess I'm surprised he doesn't have knuckles and C's and stuff yet too. I'm sure he will. Catan seems like a good dude. I've talked to him a little bit, and he's making some cool stuff.
Yeah, because GCM picked him up as a local supplier, so.
Nice. I think that's a good move on their part.
Yeah. It's easy for me to get their stuff on.
Yeah, we just installed a set of their beadlocks on one of the new. What the hell is it? This is the Scale Shop's the SCX HR chassis. So, but did another set of the SSD wheels. That's the SSX or whatever. Set of Burley tubes, all the Vanquish stuff, Crawl Master Pro, some good stuff. This is going to be Howard's Truggy.
Sweet.
So.
Hey,
I finally got.
Because I'm behind the page here, I wanted to ask, because I'm sure you know, Josh, or somebody does. Who is this Capo thing?
The only thing that I'd ever seen before this new Jeep was they have a big 8x8. But that's all I'd seen.
Now, and surely that's probably some crazy German thing that's megabucks.
Megabucks for sure. But I don't know. I don't know where they're from.
Is that megabucks for a rich guy like you, or megabucks for a rich guy like me?
It's all manufactured in China.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I know it's not the same Capo Racing or whatever that sells.
Not the poo one.
Right. It's not the one that's on.
Capo and Capo.
Right.
Poo's the hit one.
Good call. Yeah, they're Kappa, and Capo is the Energy knockoff crap.
So how much is it?
There's no price released yet.
Huh.
So.
But probably $1,000 or something crazy.
Oh, way more than that.
We're thinking over the 3 mark.
We guess 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
On your Yeti, the 380, did you have any grease in your on your front diff?
Stock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
RT.
I think so.
I have none in mine.
Yeah.
Grease is overrated.
I'm not crazy surprised.
I finally got paint on my TF2 cab to stick and look good.
How much you pay for that one?
This was an $8 can of Rust-Oleum.
There you go.
Oh, you're getting cheap.
I thought you did high-end work, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
After getting screwed so bad the first time,
Didn't you pay like $200 the first time?
yeah.
More than that.
Something like that.
So, let's... Oh, okay. I think I figured this out here. I was a little skeptical about this little setup here on the on GCM's intermediate shaft, but it appears they've modified a set of universals to run with a smaller size on one end and a larger size on the other.
With that GCM kit, can you still run the 2-speed transmission with that forward mount?
Yeah, it's got a new mount for the shift servo and everything.
Mm.
So it appears that they have thought of that.
Might have to look into that.
The let's see. I don't know that I'm going to, but at the same time I don't know. No, I doubt I will. I just don't like 2 speeds.
If you're gonna compete with it, I wouldn't do it. But
I just want. It's just something else to fail.
Yep.
And on a comp rig, that's just the last thing that I want. So.
Oh, you know that RC 4-wheel drive, the
AX2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I bought a second one because I had one in my Rexo, and I sold the Rexo. I was going to put it in the SCX. It messed up out of the box.
Why did you want another one?
Because I had good luck with the first one.
No, I mean, I honestly, once you get the HD shaft in those, I hear that they hold up really well.
Well, this one, you can't see it on video. But if I shift it into high or low gear, I get probably 6 revolutions out of the spur gear before the output shaft spins.
Have you looked inside yet?
No, I'm just going to return the stupid thing.
Surely by now everybody saw the Delonde Cruiser, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a hard one to keep my trap shut about. Well, because I love those FJ40s, man.
Honestly, I would like to get one of those and because it does look like a stock FJ40 or whatever, you know. I mean, they did it. It's a good job. It's very. I think it's basically that Aoshima body that was out a long time ago. But I think it would be a good one to get and then do the transformation from a stock style rig to an off-road, a built-up off-road rig, in kind of a fun way.
Have they released the body yet for that?
Not that I've seen.
Not separately yet.
So
I'd like to do a pickup of it. I'd like to Turn one into a truck.
Have you guys seen? Any of you guys remember the Icon Dynamic? No, not Icon Dynamics, not the shocks, but or maybe it was. No, it's just search for Icon FJ, and they had a fantastic build of one.
It's the same place, same people.
No, is it?
Yeah.
Because Icon, I thought they built. There's another place I'm thinking of too. Icon is probably the one that I'm thinking of right now that has the. It's a black and silver version, and like a silver car mainly with like a black hood.
That's the Icon one, I believe.
What's that?
I believe it is the Icon one.
Yeah. So, and it's just one of my favorite FJs. You know, it's been around forever.
Is it that one right here on my screen?
Yep. I can only see a little picture of it, but yep. That's basically it. And
whoa,
just always looked like a good looking rig. Now,
they're doing like a 30-something Chevy truck looking thing now.
Icon is?
Yeah.
They're the ones who like reproduce. Like you can buy Willys from them and a FJ from them, I think, right?
Yeah, brand new.
Yeah.
All reproduced.
Right, for like $150,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Pocket change.
I mean,
Yeah, now they're doing this cool old pickup truck.
really? Share your screen.
It is cool. How do I do that?
On the left side, scroll over. There'll be a toolbar that comes up. The green arrow, third from the top.
There we go.
Oh, wow. That does look good.
Yeah, this picture got my juices flowing.
I
They
like
look like they got two trucks that they're working on, like a Bronco and a old Mercury.
Yeah. They had that Bronco that was freaking bitching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good looking truck, man. I mean, it's slammed, all wood bed, the whole deal.
God, it looks great. Nonetheless, their FJs always were super cool. Yeah, go there, Bronco.
They're doing this now too, the Bronco.
I think that was one of their early ones.
Yeah, that was one of their first ones.
Yeah, the Bronco and the FJ were both early, I think. And
Had a bike.
okay, you've been fired from screen sharing duty. Yeah, stupid.
I want the TR series.
What is the TR series?
They're calling the truck, I guess, is what they're calling it.
Ah, I got you.
Yeah, like instead of calling it a Bronco, it's the BR.
Right. I can see how they would need to do that.
Yeah, and the FJ, it's like they've now upped that up to where they got a 2-door, a truck, a 4-door.
I think they made most of those. Like Toyota made most of those, right? Like the FJ80 and the FJ60 and.
Yeah, these go like a FJ 40, 43, 44, and 45 now.
Gotcha.
From Icon, all soft top.
Ah, it's called the Icon Thrift Master. That's why it's a TR.
Thrift Master, huh? It must be super cheap.
Well, wasn't Chevrolet? Didn't they have what the hell was the name of it? It was Master. Something they had that back then. They called their truck like the Hall Master or something like that, or.
I do not know. I do not know much of my old truck history.
I'm not up on the Chevrolet history too much. I know a little bit of it. Ford stuff I'm pretty good with, but not the Chevrolets.
You gotta like somebody though that just decides, hey, we're just gonna build our own vehicle.
Right. But we're not going to build like our own vehicle. We're going to build our own vehicle, but of your vehicle.
Yeah. Well, and that's if you're gonna do it, you know. And you can get away with it. Why not copy something that you know sells well?
Right.
It's like, you know, I'm going to build a Ford Mustang.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
I could probably sell a couple.
I suppose you don't see a lot of Pinto reproductions, but
That would
Hey,
probably...
I-
No.
I won the 2003 mini stock points champion with a 1977 Pinto. It was only putting out 225 horsepower at the rear wheels, so trying to find a picture of it here. I got one somewhere.
It had a big block in it.
No, 4-cylinder, 2.3 liter 4-cylinder.
one of our, well, you guys all know him, Jerry, the DMG. He was a Pinto freak. Pinto motor freak, anyway.
They're great
Well,
little motors.
He had a Pinto, had a couple of them.
Yeah, he's got a big built turbo Pinto motor in his basement still to this day.
Well, this car right here ran a Pinto motor in it. That was it's a fiberglass body, 5-star Monte Carlo body. And then, well, here was the very first race of the Pinto. Where'd it go? There we go. That was the very first night. And then the year I won the championship, where's that picture go? Shit, I lost it. I got a bunch with the trophy girl. You can kind of see the car.
Not really.
Not so much. But we're okay with that.
Let's see. So 73, that's what, 40? So that girl's like 60 now.
No, that was 2003.
And
Oh, okay.
Still hot.
She actually married a good friend of mine. Oh, here it is. Shit. Picture right there. There we go. That's the year I won the championship.
You got a wicked glare. And you're too low. There you go.
There we go.
Super Mini. What the hell is Super Mini?
It was 4-cylinder class. The difference between Mini and Super Mini was Super Mini you were allowed to run a header and weight jacks on the suspension and stuff, whereas the Mini stock had to be stock. I mean, you couldn't do anything to the suspension. You couldn't run a header. You had to run stock exhaust manifold, maximum 350 CFM carburetor, that kind of stuff. Whereas the Super Mini, no, it was a quarter-mile paved oval.
Oh, got you.
I had about $3,500 into that motor.
Back in the day.
It was a screaming son of a bitch. It'd scare the hell out of you if you weren't ready for it. That short wheelbase little thing on that tight little track. I timed in faster than most of the V8 cars that showed up there.
Got to remember how to rebuild this slipper. There we go. Things were definitely not looking right.
Ouch.
Yeah, I see that, ouch. But you're probably all right with that. The,
Yeah.
you know, definitely better and safer than what you have.
Yeah, I was going to say, no matter what, it's going to end up light years ahead of where we're at now.
This little install may go much quicker than I was anticipating.
Which is amazing considering you don't have Howard there doing it.
He never does. He never really does anything.
Yeah, you really lost your good little minions when you had the errands.
Yeah, I will
They
say.
get right in there and just tear it up, man.
that was best on like comp weekends or things like that. They really got some shit done. Let's see.
Where'd you get that little engine hoist?
I don't know. I've had it forever. Congratulations, you're the 1 millionth person to ask me that, though.
Well, you best figure out where you got it, because I want one.
Everybody does. Because it's epically awesome.
There was one on RCC for sale the other day. He
And
wanted
it worked.
$110 for it.
Like if you put a weight on it, you release the valve here on the. Let's see. You put some weight on it. There's a valve here on the side, and it'll go down. Close the valve.
This thing is awesome.
Huh. I'll be dogged.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, the one that was on RCC, he wanted $110 for it, and that little top arm on there, you could tell it was bent. And
Really?
yeah.
I remember I paid $30 for this, but I just don't remember where or from who or anything important.
You could probably sell it for $150.
But what fun would that be?
Yeah, I never sell anything. I'm a hoarder of all my shit. I got 5 pairs of Trepador tires that I'll never use, but
Right. Well, I am pretty good at getting rid of some things. I don't think I've got too many pairs of Trepadors laying around, but it's I definitely keep more stuff than really is needed. Oh, I was saying I got a pair of the Vaterra shocks coming for this thing, and I've got high hopes for them just because it's, you know, Vaterra owns, or Losi owns Vaterra, or, you know, Horizon anyway. So it seems like there's a pretty good chance that those will be a decent set of shocks.
they're different than the ones that come on it.
They look quite a bit different.
I haven't looked at them yet.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
On your RTR like Yeti, did you happen to change out the like a shock oil on the like front shocks? Cause I was just curious.
No, I left it.
Did you?
Yep.
Did you I can mess with like the spring or anything?
Yeah, I changed the springs out,
Okay.
but that was it.
All right.
Looks like I need a new spur gear. This one is too big. So, or I can modify the chassis, it looks like. I go for option B.
Modify.
Mm-hmm.
Get out the Dremel.
Yep. It doesn't require much. It looks like on their website they state that if you use the Twin Hammer's 78 tooth spur gear, it doesn't require modification. But this way, if I ever do chuck a spur gear, I won't have to worry about which one I'm running.
I'm looking on Facebook here, and somebody just posted a video on TrueScale RC that they've RC'd a Power Wheels.
I've seen Castle Creations did that way back in the day, and they would just, I think it had like 2 Mamba Maxes and just 2 crazy motors, and they would just jump it and they'd run it off. It was ridiculous. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go Dremel on this thing for a second. Be
Talk
entertained.
amongst yourself. Oh. Somebody was just riding a Power Wheels Jeep and high-sided it, and as it come down, he landed square on his head.
You see those usually on the Mad Ram videos, the guys
Yeah,
doing
that's
the
what this
downhill
is.
and the
Yeah,
downhill racing in those things.
that's what this is.
Yeah.
He slid sideways and it high-sided on him, and it just like went completely over, and then right square down on top, right on his head. And he's not wearing a helmet. They're on pavement too.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's gonna leave a mark.
What are those little crazy little cars? I see videos all the time of these guys post these epic drifting videos where they're cruising around in these little electric things. They look like they took a, cheap plastic sitting chair and put 4 little wheels on it, and it's motorized.
Guess I haven't seen those.
Like,
The guys
they're
up in
called,
Wenatchee are
like-
big into the trikes.
Like Crazy Cart or something like that.
They're like made by a Razor. My little cousin has the miniature version.
You can get them at Walmart.
Yeah.
Jeez.
The guys up in Wenatchee are big into those drifting trikes.
Yeah, I've seen that quite a bit. The
You still have yours, Josh, in the shop or no?
what's that?
Your trike that you had?
Oh yeah, it's still around.
Yeah.
So it hopefully we get a couple new ones made later this year.
No, I still got that stuff to send you too.
Yeah,
It's sitting here.
no worries. I've got trucks to finish.
Oh yeah, that's my excuse. I'm not sending it until some trucks are done.
Done.
I am the worst person in the world for shipping stuff.
I'll race you. It's that's a race everybody else will lose. So,
Speaking of which, you said you had some stuff to ship.
I
you
do.
ever ship?
I have a lot of it.
Hey, Brett, did you get your email?
When?
He just emailed you a little bit ago.
No. I have to go to a different computer to get that.
Oh, don't do that.
Because that means me going upstairs to the business computer.
I want to know where you got that darn thing.
Let's see. It says Central Hydraulics on it. Mini aluminum shop crane.
I think they sold them at Harbor Freight, didn't they?
They could have. I don't know.
Yeah.
Lifting capacity of 4.4 pounds. That's not too shabby.
The ones here in California at Harbor Freight were actually in blue.
Yeah, the later model ones were blue. The early model ones were like the one that Josh has, all silver.
Ah, gotcha.
That makes sense.
They even have floor jacks too. Little miniature floor jacks.
Yeah, those were always bigger, though. I mean, granted, this thing's probably not exactly to a scale either. That would be quite a large shop crane.
The Harbor Freight one had a really tiny one. It was
Did they?
it was probably only about 3 inches. They had two of them. There was one that was big and it was like 5 inches long, and then they had another one that was like about 3 inches long that looked a lot more scale.
Ah, that makes sense then.
But you can't find those anymore. You can only find the bigger ones.
Right. That was gonna say I've seen the bigger ones and they look ridiculous.
Well, if I'd have been paying attention, I could have got one on the 25th for $11.
From where?
eBay.
Dang. $11, you could have made yourself some money.
Yes. Somebody's auction says, these are not for actual lifting. They're only for desktop display. Really?
Well, you remember, One Bad Jeep Bruiser? God, I don't know if you would know him or not. He's got a bunch of scale tracks anyway. Mike, anyway, stories are going anyway. He sold a high lift jack on eBay, a scale model of one, and the price ended up going way higher than you would normally expect. Well, it got received, and this lady was buying it for her husband, and she was not aware that it was in the toys and hobby section of eBay, and yep. So, he won the auction. He won the dispute, but I don't know whatever came of the whole thing, if he ended up doing a refund or what, but
yeah, they did have a thing. I remember it was quite a long time ago, and they had this thing where people were putting stuff. It was kind of when eBay was new. Okay, I know.
People would be like, "This is a picture of an Xbox 360,"
Right.
and you would win a picture, like a Polaroid of it.
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember that when people were not quite as internet savvy as they are today.
Yes. Like that commercial. Have you seen that one commercial? They played it during the Super Bowl. It was like Katie Couric and what's his name?
Yeah.
And they're like, play this whole internet thing. How does that work?
Yeah. You'd be surprised how much this forward motor mount setup actually makes installing an interior quite difficult in a Unimog.
And in a Mog, yeah.
In a normal truck, this would be much simpler.
Yeah, I'm thinking no. I'm thinking you're gonna have to do something else.
No, I'm thinking a monster center console.
Rick ain't gonna fit in there. Maybe a one-legged Rick.
Well, that'll get interesting. We'll get into that at a later date.
I'd like to see a different body anyway.
No.
Dude, Unimogs are so played out. How about you get you one of those cruiser bodies?
There's a lot of reasons to do a Unimog in Class 1. The thing with Class 1 is you have to keep your truck within an inch of the wheelbase of the body. And if you use a Unimog, you can set that wheelbase anywhere you like. So that is why I personally chose to use the Unimog.
How far does the rear bumper have to stick out on Class 1?
I think to the back of the tires.
No, the front and the back have to equal 3 inches.
Oh, okay. 3 inches more than the wheelbase or something, right?
Yes.
Which, that's pretty, well, I mean, if you have a 4-inch tire and you put them to the back of the tire on each one, you're 4 inches, so. That should be all right. I need to extend my wheelbase, or my frame length back out in order for this thing to, or at least for that stock jack shaft length to be correct. Otherwise I'm going to have to shorten it. We'll see how it works out for now.
Is that transfer case a 1-to-1 transfer case, or does it have any reducing in it?
No, it's 1-to-1. What would be nice is if they, with the 2 pinions set up, if you wanted, you could actually set it up to have a underdrive overdrive setup. If you ran your drive shafts on offset outputs. But yeah. But that's not what we have here. So it would be nice to be able to get that out of a stock set of Vaterra axles, though. So maybe down the road.
Has Vanquish released any information about stuff for the Ascender?
What'd you say?
Has Vanquish released any info about making stuff for it?
No, not yet. So still have to wait on that one. I would like some parts for that as well. But I do have the Vaterra stuff coming, so that'll get me by for the meantime. This whole adjustable wheelbase thing sure sounds a lot easier than it is. You basically have to disassemble the whole truck, all of the links. All right.
Have you put in that new axle or link mount, whatever it is?
Nope, I will get to that in a minute.
This one, you have to change your links mounts or your link lengths.
Link lengths? Yes. And I've got Matt over at RC 4x4 Performance building links for this. So I let him know today that how much shorter they needed to be.
See how nice I am? I forewarned you not to do it early.
Yes, that was very helpful. Otherwise, I would have had links here that were too long. Let's see. I am going to change out this MIP. All right, right back. I gotta grab MIP parts.
Did you get my email, Neil?
I didn't check. I'm too busy looking at barcodes.
At least you could have lied to us and said porn.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
All right.
Oh, hey, there it is.
The Vaterra comes with those standard
Brad. Oh, Brett just he sent me a funny.
Probably just safer that way.
Yes.
Safer.
Yes. Josh, I must say I've never had more fun watching somebody put some stuff together.
Whatever.
I love work, man. I could watch it all day.
It's kind of like the road construction guys, eh? One guy working, the rest 6 of them watching.
Right.
Oh, you have that problem in Canada too, huh?
We do.
What's Kurt working on over there?
Something rally. Let me guess.
Well, you didn't have to go too far out on a limb to figure that one out.
I'm actually putting a new servo in my drifter.
Oh!
That's just like concrete rallying.
Yeah, kind of. It used to be a rally car. I just dropped a screw.
This guy posted a video. I saw somebody link to it because that I almost attempted to hide his post because he posts so much. That Avoca drift shed guy.
Yeah.
But he posted a video up a while back of some guy that had a drift car, and he was extremely good at drifting. But he had one of those rotating cameras, you know, like
yeah.
It had like the boom arm, you know, that would spin 360 around the outside.
Right.
Man, that was I'd never seen anything like that before, so it was like I was just mesmerized, going, man, this is awesome. Because he could turn it on and off, you know what I mean? It was like he could spin it, or maybe it was spinning when he was drifting or whatever, but I don't know how it was happening, but
right.
It was a neat effect.
Don't know what's going on here, but this intermediate shaft seems too long.
I had a guy email me today or yesterday, or he might have hit me up on Facebook, and whoa, I don't know what that was, but maybe I don't want to know. This happens all the time. It's like, I wish I could figure out some way to delicately let all of the Monster Energy people down gently.
All of the what people down?
The people who just want a black truck with Monster logos on it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, man. Not going there.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of flirt with disaster a little bit, you know what I mean? But,
right.
But
Monster is not one to try and get cozy with.
Considering that, you know, I think somewhere right now there's still paper between them and Monster Cable.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, because they were the titans of suit, both of them.
Monster Cable was?
Monster Cable sued everybody, and then Monster Energy sued everybody. So for a while there, it was just like lawsuit after mega $1 million lawsuit between the two of them and everybody else.
God.
They went after anybody with the Monster Energy name.
Yeah, I mean, they just didn't care. They were just, anybody who used that logo of any sort, man, you were in for it.
Yeah, and I still can't figure out how these buttholes on eBay are still not getting shut down.
I know.
The only thing I can assume is they're one of those, I call them the sticker farms, that, you know, they got about 25 or 100 eBay accounts, so they just get shut down with one, and then they pop up again.
Right.
And they go till they get shut down, then they pop up again.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's basically all you got, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
So, who's going to order up the new, let's see here, it's the AMG G63 G-Wagon from Mercedes. They got a limo version of it now.
oh God, what's that running?
I'm trying to find a price on it. The only price I can find is on the non-stretched one, which was almost 200,000 pounds. So
If I got one, I'd have to get the 6-wheel version that Richard Hammond cruised.
yeah, that was badass.
You know,
Yeah,
for
let's
some
see a
reason,
price.
that just wasn't my wasn't my jam on that one, man.
Did anybody see Top Gear last night?
I have not caught up.
No, I'm behind.
You missed it. You're missing out, man. It was fun. It was probably the funniest one they'd had in a long time. They decided that they could do ambulances better.
I heard that.
Yeah,
I saw the promos or whatever on Facebook.
yes. Yeah, and of course, you know, Jeremy's was the hack job, and James had a deal where he could remote had a RC stretcher that he could drive out of the back of his. And then instead of Jeremy pulling it, you know, he had his whole plan that you would figure, but Richard Hammond actually topped him and had this cannon that fired the stretcher out the back.
What?
Yeah, you know, they all built their whatever they got, and Richard Hammond picked a Chevy van because he said it would be faster than the diesel-powered, you know, crappy things they're driving now.
Right.
And they all rigged them all up to be ambulances. But instead of a stretcher, he had one of those, I forget what they call them, it's like a basket, you know, they carry people in.
Yeah.
And you've seen them, you know, like the firefighters will carry them, or mountain climbing, they'll put you in one.
Right.
Well, his shot, it was like rocket powered or some sort of air cylinder power, so he could pull up and swing around and fling the doors open and then fire that thing to shoot you out of the patient out of the back.
God.
It's pretty good. But I kept thinking that totally, I had Jeremy written all over it, but for whatever reason.
I got a kick out of that one episode where they invited the Australians up there to do that Australian challenge or whatever, and they were racing the transit vans, and Richard was driving that Ford Transit van that had the Jaguar twin turbo motor. Just schooled the shit out of that Australian transit van or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were driving those crazy cars where they had the one car was on top, upside down.
Yeah. That was pretty good too. I enjoyed that particular.
You always end up though. You can't ever watch that show, you know, without feeling that you're not in on the joke at least once. And they did it last night. You know, they always say something like, you know, he was driving like a man from Guernsey, and then everybody laughs, and you're like, huh?
Right. Yes, that's.
Or,
does always seem to be something that you're
you
just
look like a skinny version of Robert Mantrell, and you're like, okay.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
I always wanted to see the when he, and I went on the internet and I saw this, and then you never get to see the picture. Only the audience gets to see the picture. And what the hell are they seeing?
You know, last night, I've noticed that since they've been playing on BBC America, they let shit get through. The word shit gets through.
the
Wow, that must be somebody from another part of the world that jumped in with us, because it looks like where they're at, it's daylight.
That'd just be the lamp.
oh.
Oh,
No, I'm in the same time zone as he is.
sorry. It looked like when you were small, it just looked like an open window behind you. I'm like, they're in like Australia or something. Speak of the devil.
There we go.
Everybody, please, everybody that's been watching Top Gear, please note there's a little Easter egg in every episode.
What's that one?
Somewhere.
I don't talk loud. They can't hear me because my mic sucks.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you because your mic's on.
Oh, is it first person shooter?
Or frames per second.
Oh. David, your mic is still on.
My bad. My girlfriend was asked, she's playing a video game. She's like, what does FPS stand for? It's like either first-person shooters or frames per second.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm hanging out with you guys, and she's playing video games.
Yeah, so the little hidden Easter egg, just look for it on every show, is the Argentinian flag.
Oh, that's what it is this season?
Yes.
I see. How fitting.
And anybody that's really up on Top Gear will know why that is appearing in every show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just was I was talking to my buddy about we're still been kind of working on this T-shirt line that we're doing, and was talking to him about the design work, and that one of the features that we're doing is there's going to be like a message of importance or what I would consider worthwhile and hidden in the shirt. And he's like, oh, that's a neat idea. I go, yeah, I can't really claim it. I go, it kind of came back from my years of finding the bunny on the Playboy covers. And he's like, what? I'm thinking, man, what planet do you surely well, you know, of course, you young kids.
Yeah, it's Playboy was still enough in my
Us old guys had to go to some store and buy our porn.
right. Like some sort of caveman.
Yes, and for anybody that doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about, on every Playboy magazine cover, somewhere in the photograph is a hidden bunny. So feel free to pull out your latest copy and attempt to find it.
Yeah.
I had a history teacher in high school that he was a subscriber to Playboy, and he would bring his subscription to class, and the challenge was to see if you could get there before he did, and scope out and find the bunny before he got to class. Of course, you always got sidetracked going through the other pages first, but
Yeah.
So did you figure out if he has his brass tubes in yet?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Was I supposed to ask William?
No, not again. I just didn't know if you heard from him.
Oh. Last I knew, he was supposed to have them up there anytime. So
Okay.
I do believe that he should have them for sale.
Okay. So, do you like the the Rock 412 motor?
I love that motor. It's a great motor.
Do you? Well, the issue is I bought 2 of the 30-turn Tikans, and I literally get 3 hours out of them, and the brushes are gone. And so Tikan has both of them right now to see if there was some kind of issue, but they said there's no issue with the motor, but I literally burned through 2 of them at 3 hours each of runtime.
That's and same truck, I assume.
Yeah, I mean it's just an SCX10. The only thing that's on there is MIP drive lines, and that's it. And there's no weight added to it. I mean that's literally the only thing that's not stock on that one. And they're just like, well, maybe it was like, what?
That was somebody else. But
No.
it sounds like
they're
I don't know.
Yeah, they're just like maybe you're running in a damp condition or something. I was like, well, we have the 35 turn. We bought a 30 turn and 35 at the same time, and the 35s were rocking and rolling, but the 30 turns not it. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's just geared wrong. So I put a 14-tooth pinion in there, so it's under geared and there's no drag brake. So I don't know what the deal is.
Do you have the truck with you?
Yeah, I can go get it.
There's no motor in it, right?
Yeah, there is. I put the stock axial back in there.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Oh.
I was gonna say, I just wonder how free that everything spins without the motor.
I mean, even with the axial, I mean, you can just barely push it, and it's super free. And that's what I was thinking. Well, maybe one of the bearings or something are rusting up, but replaced all those with fast eddy bearings, and I mean, it's super easy to move. So I don't know what the deal is.
I can't say I would either. I mean, my initial thought would be, oh, you've got something hanging up or something.
Yeah, some kind of binding issue or dragging, but no. I don't know.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah. What's up, Brett?
Those Capo 8x8s.
Yeah.
On eBay, there's one for $9,000.
Oh.
And another one for $5,000.
Huh. I'm telling you, I think that Jeep will be all of $4,000, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was $6,000.
Yeah.
What's the point?
As scale as you can buy. You know?
Yeah, but jeez,
You want scale, there it is. Not really another way to describe it other than that, is there?
Did they give any dimensions on it?
Not that I saw.
No. No real write-up about it either.
No.
Just some pictures.
What motor are you going to put in your Vaterra?
I've got a Holmes Hobbies 13 turn in there now, and that's what'll stay.
Okay. I was wondering, because on that post, it looked like you broke your stock. Your diff gears. And then, you posted the heavy duty version or whatever.
Yep.
I didn't know if, what?
Well, I mean, I blew up the stock gears with this motor.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Do you think the new gears are going to hold this motor?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like the people have been having a problem with these new gears.
Is it mainly because they're supported on the backside now?
Yes.
What are you working on?
That does appear to be the biggest help. What'd you say? Did you say something else?
What are you working on?
The Vaterra Unimog.
Oh, all right.
So putting in a GCM forward motor mount setup.
How's the Deadbolt coming along?
Same as the last time you saw it in the video.
All right.
No surprises yet.
So is that kit that you're putting on now, is it similar to the Yoshi one? No, I don't know if it's Yoshi, but the one you put on for the Deadbolt?
The Toizuki? No, this one is very different. This one moves the entire transmission forward. where that Toyzuki only moved the spur and pinion forward.
Oh, gotcha.
So
with that, the one you're doing now, do you have to get longer drive shafts?
Yeah, you technically do. I've got the MIP drive shafts for this. Now, I've installed them, and the front one so far seems to fit. And in the rear, I'm actually going to do a shorter wheelbase.
Okay. So you can actually still use the drive shaft then?
So I should be able to use the drive shafts. And if not, I can just swap in for longer MIP drive shaft parts.
Gotcha.
Is the current plan anyway.
What wheelbase are you going to run on that? Like around 12 inches-ish?
I think 12 inches, especially for Colorado. Colorado, those guys seem to be able to get away with belly draggers without much of an issue. Is Kurt still hanging around? Hey, Kurt. Are you doing much crawling at all lately?
Not in like the past 6 months, but
okay. Well, I was just saying for this thing, I'm going to try and go around a 12-inch wheelbase for Class 1. Just because it seems like out in Colorado, you guys are able to run the belly draggers without much of an issue.
Oh, totally. People ride really slam down, like especially Tom and Ty and Kyle. Like the guys who've been like the leaders at the crawl spaces, like scale series and everything. Those guys, the belly is so low on their rigs compared to mine. I mean, mine look a little bit more scale, but they're also like way, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to rough guess, how much ground clearance do you think they have in the middle? Rough guessing.
Hair over 2, maybe.
Oh, really? That short?
Well, I'm only running a 4-inch tall tire.
Oh, okay.
So it's, it doesn't take much to have pretty low ground clearance.
Right.
So we'll have to see how it all works out. I am definitely going to have to work out the rear of this chassis with the suspension I'm finding. But we'll see how all that goes. I'm not overly concerned yet at this point.
You think you're going to put the Rock Beast on there?
What's that?
Do you think you're going to put the Rock Beast on there just to get a little bit more ground clearance, or are you going to try to keep it short?
No, I have to run a short tire on this car because of Class 1 rules.
Rock Beasts are too tall.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I will not be able to run those. These are the 155 Pitbull Growlers. So that is that's what they're stretched on a 1.9 wheel right now. But that's the current plan is to run these tires, these 155s. So
gotcha.
I will be running a 1.9 wheel still, and I'm not 100% sure what wheel it'll be. It won't be these. These are just some plastic wheels. But I'll have to figure that out when the time comes.
What happened to those BP rims you had for that? You had a set of those 8 holes.
Oh, I think those are going to go on my Yoda Truggy. I think that those wheels and tires are just going to move over. I think those are probably a better suited wheel for that truck than for this truck. So.
Yeah, they suited the Blazer body, but won't suit the Unimog.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I was thinking. So, and honestly, without going with like a super military style wheel, something smooth or basic. I don't know what I'll run, but I don't know. I haven't quite hammered those details out yet.
Man, that's some good flicks there in the Vaterra. I like it.
Yeah, that's Facebook style.
Yeah.
Hooked up.
That's adjustable wheelbase. That's what it is. It helps you take those tight turns.
Right. Just leave the rear axle.
Put on. It's servo actuated.
Oh.
Capo posted a whole bunch of pictures of that Jeep up on their Facebook page.
Yeah, I shared them today.
Oh, okay.
How did you hear about it if you hadn't seen that post?
Josh, do you know there are other people that provide information to the entire world besides you?
You know that's not true. You know you hear everything from me.
No, they actually... I'm ahead of you. They just posted another picture of the chassis.
They had that posted up before.
They just posted it 3 minutes ago. Oh, he's got to go. He's got to... What?
We'll see. We'll see.
I might have scooped you.
Let's see. Where? Oh, yeah, they just updated their cover photo with a picture that they had already posted. That's what you're seeing. Boom!
Oh, Josh, I've got.
I forgot to tell you, I got you a little present. I got it here. Look, I brought. It's right in my hand, right here.
Kurt, were you saying something?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I've got my Bronco sitting here with the same tires as what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like 2 inches, maybe 2 1/8 or something.
Underneath the belly.
And I'll bet you, like Tom's rig that I'm kind of jealous of. I'll bet you he's like 1.5 more. I mean, he's got close to a 1/2 inch lower than me, I'd say.
Got.
So,
How do you guys manage peaks?
What's that?
Well,
How do you guys manage like a peak?
Well, Colorado's got a lot of their rock they run on is super smooth.
Gotcha.
Just rolling like nice sandstone, like which I don't know. Yeah.
So I'm at home here in Oklahoma, and we have a lot of granite down here where I'm at. It's just sheer ledges.
Right. Yeah, it does take a different driving style for sure, and you know, the comp in Colorado that I'm going to is at Red Rocks, and I've crawled there before, but I mean it's been, God, 4 years better. But even, I mean, back then even it was, you know, the belly dragging was not an issue. There was some pretty cool stuff. So I just kind of figured that I would probably still be okay with this style of rig without having to worry too much. Come on.
Hey guys, working hard?
Always.
Hey, Tank.
Somebody has to.
Exactly. Speaking of that, I got stuff I got to do, so I'm going to bounce out, fellas.
All right, Neil.
All right, guys. See everybody later. Brett, I'll get a hold of you.
Yeah,
Josh,
whatever. Thanks, Neil.
What are you two conspiring on?
Nothing. None of your damn business.
You just worry about your stuff.
Yeah, don't worry about what me and Brett are doing. You just worry about what me and you are doing.
What?
You don't see me asking what you and him are doing.
Yeah, in fact, he emphatically said he doesn't care what you and I are doing.
Actually, technically, I said I'd rather not know.
Yeah, see?
It has orange in it.
All right,
Kurt,
Neil.
good to see you, buddy. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, see it.
See you guys.
See you, Neil.
See ya.
Later.
All right. Well, I've gone back and forth on this thing 5 different times on how I want to set it up, and I think I'm going to stay with the very short wheelbase setting on the car and adjust the intermediate shaft. Hopefully there's enough distance there between them that it is able to operate smoothly.
Does that thing come with a 4-link front and rear?
Comes with a 3-link in the front and a 4-link in the rear. 3-link with chassis-mounted servo and panhard. So,
Oh, okay.
set up very nice out of the box as far as that goes. and a ton of steering out of the box.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm jealous of.
Yeah.
Is that, do you think, because of the C-hubs, or what gives it that?
I mean, it was just designed to have that kind of steering. It's just the design of the axle shaft. It's a CVD inner axle, so it's got a lot more operating, angle. Just, I mean, everything about that design of it is definitely made to operate at a sharper angle, and as well as the knuckles and the C-hubs, the whole deal.
Is it possible, do you think, to put that axle underneath the SCX-10?
I mean, sure. It probably wouldn't even be all that hard. I mean, honestly, I mean, you're not going to just like find a set of axles for a great price. So
Yeah, unless you just eBay shop it or something. But I mean, you get your angle, your steering angle, and your ground clearance without having to go buy a whole new car.
yeah, that is true. I don't know that would be the exact route I would go. I would probably just say, I think that this car is well set up how it is, but I think that, SCX-10s definitely have their benefits. You can whale on an SCX-10, and
Right.
it will be just fine. This car is going to take a little different approach on several things.
Just for quality components, or just size of components?
I mean, the size of the ring and pinion gears is much smaller.
Right.
So, it can only hold so much power with that small of a contact patch. It just is what it is. So, I think they definitely have their advantages, but people just need to understand the limitations of them, and use them for what they're best for.
Gotcha. Do you think the XR10 upgrade for the SCX is a better steering than that?
I would say it's on par or better.
The Vaterra or the Axial's on par?
The XR10 mod. This is an
Okay.
XR10 modded axle. And
okay.
it lays over pretty good. I guess we can just check. I think the XR10 mod gets it by several degrees.
Okay.
So.
Now,
Definitely.
what's different between the XR10 mod and then what you did to the Deadbolt?
I basically did the exact same thing. I just narrowed them down to keep a narrower width.
Okay, but you still technically get the same amount of angle change in the tire, or lay down?
Yep.
Okay.
So, but the deadbolt's on the wall behind me, and that was handy. So.
Right. Yeah. Hey, don't you have the More lights, the MORE lights on something? Are they really as bright as they say?
What's that?
Are they really as bright as they say they are?
Yeah. They're literally just that much brighter than everything else. You have to see a set in person to understand how bright they are.
Gotcha.
But I mean, they're brighter than anything that I've ever ran, or anything I've seen in RC.
Gotcha.
You physically can't get anything any brighter than that in RC without some sort of active cooling. Like that More LLC setup. Where the hell did I do with that drive shaft? There it is. They take, and you have to, it uses a thermal paste and all that to try and dissipate the heat into that Vanquish housing, to actually use that Vanquish housing like a heat sink, like the real ones do.
So they use just like a thermal paste like you would for your computer then?
It is like that, and then the actual LEDs and everything are printed, or not printed, but applied to a board that is, an aluminum board, so it dissipates the heat from the crease onto a board that's capable of then transferring that heat.
Okay, so they legitimately have to have that heat sink then.
Yeah. If you don't, they will burn out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if you don't have, like, you couldn't put that much light output in a plastic housing, or or anything like that. They would burn down.
Gotcha. Which is weird because they're LEDs. They're not halogen, right?
They're Cree LED.
Gotcha.
So they're extremely high output LED.
Yeah, I have. That's what my light bar is on my Razor, and it doesn't get that hot. But I'm sure I'm not pushing them as hard as those are being pushed.
Right, and those ones on like a Razor also have that full heat sink as well.
Right.
So, like that Moore bar, it will get. I mean, it's hot to the touch. You know, it's probably not going to burn you, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Leave your finger on it long enough, probably will.
It would be very uncomfortable at the very least.
Yeah, that's how we test our motors on short course. When you don't have your tip gun, you touch it. If you can touch it for more than 2 seconds, it's okay. If it's not, it's too hot.
Oh yeah, that's old school tricks.
Yeah.
Come on. So, we're getting there. We're almost there.
I love your little hammer.
This hammer's the best. I don't care how much Howard knocks it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the HobbyKing blowout sound is back and time from regional.
All right.
Somebody's on HobbyKing.
Are you listening to somebody else while listening to us?
No, I went to HobbyKing to look at batteries.
Oh, I hate that.
The autoplay?
Yeah.
You turn it off every time, but automatically turns on.
I know. And I'll be at work, like, trying to, do something, and I'll forget my speakers are on or something like that, and then all of a sudden some guy's yelling on the... God damn it.
And you're like, no, I'm not on HobbyKing, I swear.
Right.
Yeah. All right, I'm going back on, but I'm going to hit mute before it happens. Hold on.
The explanation is acceptable. Yeah, I really hate that feature about HobbyKing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the HobbyKing blowout sound is back.
All right.
There it is.
Now that we know what it is, it's not so bad.
Yeah. I forgot what that website the guy was talking about batteries the other day, but I actually bought some from him. He was talking about those Force, those 40C batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were like $25. I was like, yeah, whatever, we'll try them. But I got them in today, so I'm curious to see how well they do for $25.
I can't remember who it was. Was it Griffin, maybe?
I think so, because we were... Well, no, that's the day that we didn't get invited. You guys had your own little internal party.
Yeah, that I didn't realize what I had really done until a little ways in, and then I was like, it's whatever. But yeah, I think that was Griffin, because I had been talking to him on Messenger
Gotcha.
before that.
The only issue is after I ordered them, I didn't realize they were in Canada.
Oh. Yeah. Who orders anything from Canada?
Yeah.
I do. I do.
This GCM kit I'm working on now.
What's wrong with Canada?
Well, it took longer than 3 days to get here, so I was worried the package got lost, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't take that long for you to get that GCM kit.
No, it didn't, because it came express mail.
You paid an extra $35 for that.
I didn't. Mr. Parker must have. Which I can't believe. Scared. A whole nother story to that. But
Have you had a chance to try out those Holmes Hobbies stubby motors?
I've ran. Now, are you talking about the revolver stubby or the?
Did you have an Outrunner?
Yeah.
Oh. I just remember. I remember if it was a video or live something that you were talking about that you had them, and I was gonna order another motor.
Sorry. You're talking about the 4-pole stubby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not available.
Oh, okay.
The
Unit
stubby motor
pre-production.
he has now is the revolver the outrunner. Yeah, sorry.
The outrigger stuff.
Right. No, that stubby I have not ran yet. It's sitting over there. It's going to go in the Matzilla Ultra 4, I believe.
What KV is that, do you know?
It's like a 3200.
Okay.
So.
No, I'm just trying to find a motor because those two Tikans are burn up technically. I was gonna put the 412 in, but I shouldn't. I don't think I should have an issue. The transmission is all steel, and MIPs. Is there any other issue? I mean, other than getting throttle happy.
What do you mean by your transmission is all steel?
Well, not the case. The case is still plastic.
That's fine. But steel gears, stock outputs?
Yes. Well, no, Robinson Racing. I didn't get the one piece because you said.
Yeah, I don't like.
Okay.
But you've got. So what output do you have?
Well, I guess it'd just be the stock ones that I bolted back on then.
Now the stock ones do hold surprisingly well.
Okay.
I like them better than the Robinson one drift gears. But you'd probably be all right on 1.9s, honestly.
Okay.
You know, you'd probably be just fine. So most likely you could throw that 3100 in there, and you'll be fine for at least a good season. For my Matzilla Ultra 4, it's got a bomb-proof transmission in it, so it's completely decked in the transmission. But the axles, now I did do the XR10 mod up front, but the rear is bone stock.
Gotcha.
It is bone stock gears, plastic lockouts, everything. Now, the gears did end up going on me at the end of the year, but that was partially due to the case splitting or separating.
Gotcha.
Because of either some bolts getting backed out and getting lost, or me forgetting to install them. I'm not 100% sure what happened.
Or too much torque, you know, C all the above.
Right. You know, so it's hard to say, but you know, it'll get you by. Stock gears will even hold up in the axles for a while. So there's.
Now, what's the difference between? I guess the outputs I have and the gears have the shafts that have the holes in them. Which are the ones that have just for the set screws?
Yeah, that's just the old ones from Axial.
The old ones have the set screws, or the old ones have the holes through them?
The old ones have the set screws. The new ones have the holes.
Okay. Now, would the set screws not be stronger since there's still more material left?
Technically, probably. Problem was that the set screws would usually let go on you before, anything else.
Gotcha.
And the old style outputs that Axial had that had the set screws were a shit metal.
Oh, gotcha.
And they were counterbored on the backside. So actually, they didn't have. There was a shoulder on them, just past where the big bearing mounted, and that shoulder, there was actually a thin spot between that and the inside of the output that basically you would end up shearing those things off. It was pretty. I mean, that's where we would find most commonly. I wonder if I have one around. Hold on.
Man, I wasn't trying to make him get up and go get crap. I was just asking a question. I guess it's time to clean.
The hell did he turn on?
Somebody's vacuuming the floor.
Well, you can do my job.
So, this was the old style, basically. Now,
Right.
If you look right here, like right in this area, in that corner,
Right.
that area would basically just shear off this whole top part. So the whole bearing and that whole top piece there. Because in that corner, there's almost no material.
Gotcha.
So.
You just sliced that in half, didn't you, Josh?
Yeah, it's kind of with the bandsaw.
That's what that noise was.
Yeah. But.
Oh, just now?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought somebody was vacuuming the floor.
No, I just cut it with the bandsaw because yeah, that was always the issue with these and I mean most of it was due to how much material they had out of the back side of this.
Right.
But this was most likely one of those sintered type parts or something like that, a cast part. So they want to not have that real hot spot of material all the way through.
Gotcha.
So that's why they had done it that way, most likely. But that's partially speculating too. It maybe it was totally machined. I'm not sure. But the new ones, the steel ones, hold up much better. So it's I even had pretty good luck with them in a Wraith for a while.
Everyone have a Wraith?
I don't. I literally just got out of the short course and 8-scale buggy scene to start playing with these, and I just have the SCX.
My Wraith was my first crawler.
The Wraith is still my favorite crawler. So
I run 235 turn brushed in mine, and it's great.
I will say that I'm not a big fan of the dual motor setups. I get the idea behind them, but any more motor technology has gone really far, and usually if you really need a bunch of power, you can get away with one good one. But it's if you got 235 turns laying around,
The problem is, if they're not matched, they end up fighting each other.
They will fight each other a little bit, yeah. But
and then the extra weight that it adds up high.
It's one of those things. There's a lot of give and take. I mean, I guess if you're not really going, all out performance and competing, then you'll be fine. But that's just the reason I don't really think that I'm not a big fan of the dual motors. But there's options out there.
Are those the stock shocks on that thing?
Currently.
You gonna upgrade to Pro lines on that, you think?
No, I'm gonna upgrade to the new Vaterra ones. So hopefully they're of like a low C type quality. So it's a real it's a nice shock.
Right.
That's my hope anyway.
Have you given any indication what you're gonna do on the Deadbolt upgrades for?
I've got Pro lines here for it.
Oh, okay.
I haven't posted.
I didn't know if you're allowed to tell that part yet.
I don't normally say. If anybody watches Hangouts, they usually can, I'll usually say what I'm going to do in here. I'm not.
Gotcha.
I've got a whole pile of stuff over there that's for
okay. So one last thing then. What did you do about the rock rails? Because I said you're going to look at it, but I didn't know if you figured it out.
I haven't done that yet. I haven't figured that out for sure.
Okay.
I'm going to do steel of some sort, but I just haven't decided what I want to go with. Honestly, Troy from Scalar Fab took care of me on the rear bumper, and I'm sure that I could have him do exactly what I want for the sliders. So I may just contact Troy again and see if he'll help me out there as well. I was really happy with that rear bumper. I think that I sent him a message and said this is exactly what I want. I want it's minimal and it's small and it's tucked in and nothing on it. I just want it to bolt on and just be a bumper as wide as the body. And he sent me pictures a few days later, a modified version of another bumper that he had, which I mentioned. I like this one, and it was exactly what I needed or wanted, and so he knocked it out.
Yeah, I noticed he had some that weren't technically like boat sides, but they were complete skid plates, I guess.
Yes. I'm that's what I'm kind of debating on. Like, I don't know for sure that that's what I want or not. So
then you could, I mean, I don't want to say not use your motor plate that everybody's been buying because you sold them and then you decided not to use it. But couldn't you put your motor just straight on that skid plate then? I mean, your battery.
My battery. Yeah, you could. Honestly, the battery's going to go on the actual skid plate.
On
where the old motor used to sit.
Oh, gotcha.
So
put it right in the middle.
Right. And a 2200 fits there with no issue. And when I'm competing, I'll be running a little tiny comp pack, like an 860.
Now, how do you get very much run time out of that?
It's enough for a course, you know. Course doesn't
how
usually run any
What's
longer.
a course?
6 to 8 minutes generally.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, 6 to 8 minutes. That's if you're running out of time. Usually, you have to finish. You always have to finish faster. But when we were running like XR10s, you know, or Bergs or whatever, you know, those are 2-motor, 2 ESC setups, and we would run 400, 450 packs.
Four of them?
What's that?
How many did you say?
So we would run like a 400 to a 450 milliamp pack.
Oh, it cut out, and I thought you said four of them.
I gotcha. So
I was like, well, why wouldn't you just use one slightly larger one?
Weight distribution. No.
Yeah.
So
we put one in every wheel, and it was great.
Right. You could only go forward so long before you had to back up and unwind the wires.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I'll do again, and you know, that should take care of that issue without any. As far as how the batteries go and all that kind of stuff, but
how big of one do you think you could put in there for, like, you're just gonna take it out to go to the park and go trailing for the day?
Honestly, a 2200 is all I normally run. And you know, because like when I go hiking, I'll run a 2200, right. And I'll just take, you know, I mean, I've got probably 6, but I'll probably for most trails, you know, if I'm gonna go do like 3 or 4 miles or something like that, I'll just take 3 and I'll really only run 2.
Gotcha.
But you know, a 2200 pack will last you a surprisingly long amount of time.
Right.
So it's definitely not been something that I've really been terribly concerned about.
Gotcha.
Now,
so what is the primary purpose of the Deadbolt? I mean, is it just a budget build, or do you plan on using it for a long time?
It's going to be my Class 2 competition vehicle this year.
Okay.
So that will be the ultimate goal of it. You know, right now it's just to be a project. It started out to just be a project. Honestly, I had done the budget build for the Wraith last year or the year before or something, and it was so popular on YouTube for me that I knew I needed to do another one, and I just wanted to do it. And that Deadbolt was so cheap that it makes it like the easiest decision ever to use it.
Go back to your batteries. Are you using 2200 2 cells or 3 cells?
I really only run 3 cell. So I don't run 2 cell anything. I prefer the wheel speed and power of a 3 cell over a 2 cell. They overall, it's just I really haven't used any 2 cell stuff for a long time. All right, I gotta go cut this intermediate shaft down for a second. I'll be back in a minute.
Go use your vacuum cleaner again?
Yes, I actually am.
Hey, tell me about that car up above your head, the blue one.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
That one?
Oh.
Yeah. What's going on? Oh, is that the Tamiya?
Yeah, that's the TTO2.
Okay.
Please move the bird out of the way.
What are the other cars there?
As the TTO1 is the Porsche, and then the MO5 is the front-wheel drive Mini Cupra.
Okay.
So
Very nice. Yeah, so the MO5 is the scale, but it's normal drive.
The MO5 is a front-wheel drive car.
Yeah.
And the TTO1 and the TTO2 are both four-wheel drive cars.
Gotcha.
I hardly ever move them. They sit here. I've got flicks on all of them.
Very nice.
I spend more time with my little CC01.
What's the wheelbase on the TTO2 though?
The wheelbase.
How did we let
it
go drifting? No. You guys have failed me.
Drifting.
255 centimeters, or
Okay.
257, I think. It's adjustable. You can make it 3 different lengths, I think.
Gotcha.
Like 10 inches.
You know, got a real plastic bumper and stuff. I'd be afraid to hit something with that one. It's going to break.
Yeah. No, I like that body, man. That's a sweet body.
What's that?
On the TTO2 that Randy's got up above his head there.
Here.
Let's see what it is. Is that an old Datsun?
Yeah. That's the
Nice.
Yeah, that thing is sweet. I like that a lot.
I dig it.
So you did the Yeti XL build.
Yep.
Honestly, how much do you think you're going to play with that thing?
Man, I don't know yet. I'm afraid to know. It seems like it could get really expensive if I play with it a lot. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to running it. You know, I had to get electronics for it, and electronics for those things are not cheap.
No, the T8 system's not cheap. I mean, that's what I have, but
Right.
and it's pricey.
So I decided to try and make a phone call instead of purchasing it.
I would too.
And that works out quite well sometimes, but I had just a little bit of a delay in the transaction this time, and but we got it all sorted out, and it will be it'll be here this week. It shipped out on Monday, I believe.
You're just gonna run a 2-cell, you said, right? I mean,
Well,
two
yeah,
cells.
4-cell total.
Gotcha.
Come on, you son. I thought I was all clever with how I was installing this.
Yeah, I didn't know if it's one of those that you got it, and it's gonna be, everybody's got those RC cars that they get, but they don't really play with, but they got it, and it's gonna be that type of thing, or you're gonna be like, man, I go out and I drive this all the time.
I mean,
because we bought the Summit, right when it came out.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, it was cool when we got it, and even now it's like we take it out, but it's so big that anything that the SCX10 has a challenge on, it just it walks right up it, no sweat.
Yeah. Now, see, that's what I don't know with this thing. It's just like I don't think I could take this thing to where I would normally want to take. Or I don't think it would handle the terrain that I normally run on.
Right.
Because it is so big that you know, a Wraith or an SCX-10 can kind of wiggle through some of these areas. And I just don't think that it would do the same.
Oh, you're talking about your space is just small then.
Not small, but like the rocks and things like that would just be not right for that thing, you know.
Gotcha.
So I just think that I'm going to have to go a very different route and find different places specifically for it. So
It's almost
is
a
it just
BMX
going-
track.
Yeah.
Which that's not necessarily my thing, you know, big jumps and things like that. I'm more of a scale terrain, so I'll probably be looking more towards like construction site type, you know, or dirt type setups, and where I can do, you know, some interesting style hill climbs or something. I don't know. I really have no idea yet until I drive it. I just don't know.
Did you see the video that Will posted up of the Yeti on the skateboard ramp?
Yes.
At the Portland show.
I told him that video was just a big tease, though, because it like the landing was completely blocked by a banner. It's like, whatever. Landed on an air mattress, didn't it?
The one thing that I love that the Traxxas did with the Summit that would be awesome to another company is just the selectable lockers, because sometimes it's nice to see if you can challenge yourself and it'd be like, oh, I can't do this, so I'll just lock the rear first and see if you can crawl with just the rear locked and the front open.
Right.
Or then, oh, crap, I got to lock all four.
The selectable locker stuff is cool. I will give Traxxas that. So, you know, I'm by no means am I. I do think Traxxas does some good stuff. I mean, obviously Traxxas has done a lot of things right, and what you know they build durable products for sure.
Oh yeah. What happened was I would race in Dallas at Mike's Hobby, and before Traxxas built their own track on Monday nights, Mike's was open till midnight, and so anything new would come out, they would bring it up there and let us play with it. You know, like the rally cars and short course trucks,
right?
The Ultimate and stuff like that. And they had one, so we were playing with it. They're nice guys. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're at the same type of hobby level we are, but I mean, if somebody says, "Hey, I went out and got a Traxxas," it's like, okay, cool. At least you can get parts for it now instead of a Walmart one or a Radio Shack.
Right. And the other thing is, well, I had one of the designers for Traxxas. He's the designer who did he designed the what's the thing? Is it the XL1?
The 100 miles an hour car.
Evidently, that was one of his big projects, and but he did the whole comp crawler scene with us. He traveled to all of the events that we did. He was very good too. I mean, he was top 5 in the U.S. for a while. So I mean, some of those guys are definitely into the hobby, and you know, he had said all the time that he would love to push Traxxas to do something in our market, but our market is way small for what Traxxas is looking at. Even how big crawlers are getting now, I don't think that you're going to see Traxxas really hurting to get into our market real soon. You know.
No.
They know where the money's at, and I can't fault them for that.
Yeah, putting 70+ miles an hour on the box, because that's the first question. You know, I just got through from staying in a hotel for 3 months, and I'd bring in all of my cars, and I had the 5BSS with me down there, and the first question is, how fast does it go?
Oh yeah,
first
question every time.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's not really about how fast it goes. It's like, well, it does this, and it'll crawl up this, or it'll do. Well, how fast does it go? It's like, well, it goes about walking speed.
Right.
Well, that's slow. How much did you pay for that? Because I got one that's faster than that.
Right. Or my uncle has one that's really fast. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I understand. Yes, that is the proverbial question, especially with crawlers, because you'll be around somewhere and they're not going fast, so everyone's like, well, how fast does that go? Because you can't be satisfied with what you're doing right now.
There's no way that you're liking crawling over that bush over and over and over.
What you're doing right now looks incredibly boring. How fast does it go?
Can it jump a house?
Yeah. I'm already bored with this conversation. So it yeah, it's hard to say where the market would go, but
My personal favorite, is it gas?
Yeah.
Do you hear it screaming?
No, it just went underwater. Trust me, it's still running. It's not gas.
yeah.
Are we having a whisper conversation right now? Yeah? No, it's not gas.
Right.
We're talking about gas. How many people have fifth scales?
I got the SS.
I had one and then I sold it.
That sounds familiar. I have 4 and I want to sell them.
Yeah, I think I drove mine. I don't know. I may have drove mine twice. I think, and the second time I think it was just because somebody was around who wanted to drive something, and I was just like, well, if I give you a crawler, it's going to be boring as hell. So.
Here, drive this. It makes a lot of noise.
Right. Here, try and drive this. And I think I cooked the servo or something, but I was over it.
I have tune pipes and modifications for the motor and way too many things for the fifth scale. I even have a nitrous oxide kit for one of them.
Yeah, that's what I need.
For a reed motor.
Yeah, well, I have the O'Neill Brothers reed valve intake. You can just add to any motor.
The Fast Eddie, who I know pretty well, he was always. I mean, well, I guess he still is big in the fifth scale stuff, and
yeah, I got his stuff on my SS.
yeah, that's a whole nother market. I used to deal with Ted over at Dark Soul for a while. I don't know what kind of market he's in anymore, if he's still around even.
Yeah, I buy a lot from Dave's Discount Motors, or DDM.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, the only reason the fifth scale is nice around here is because I live in Oklahoma, and let's face it, there's pastures everywhere.
Yeah.
So I just have room to play with it.
Right.
And
how far are you from like Little Sahara?
Oh, Little Sahara is like northwest Oklahoma. Okay. So I mean, I am literally 10 minutes into Oklahoma from Texas.
Oh, okay. So you're on the south. How far are you from Clayton and all that?
I go to Clayton all the time. Here, let me see. Do you see this picture? I just put my razor.
Right now, shit. I don't know which one yours is. That you? Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. See that's my razor in Clayton.
Yeah.
Clayton is an hour from my house.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, we'll go down to Clayton every once in a while and run through Green Acres or what's that, Mr. Freeling.
Yeah. Yeah. What I do in Clayton is I take the razor, but there's it's called the K Trail. But you leave out of Clayton and you go all the way into Arkansas and then come back into Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And one way is 93 miles. There's a gas station literally at the end of the trail where you turn around, so you fill back up and you come all the way back. So you do like 186 miles in one day.
How? What kind of trails are they?
It's technically an old fire road.
Got you.
But they're washed out, and I got tons of pictures. But it's some of the best scenery that I've got to play on with the razor.
Clayton really has some very cool scenery with just with those whatever kind of mountains they call those through there.
The Arbuckles.
Yeah, and Green Acres has got just some insane rock trails.
Oh yeah. I worked for the wildlife department, and even when I was in college, we had to go do surveys and all the rivers and stuff over there. And there's so much there that a lot of people don't even know about, that they fly by on the highway. But if you just look on the other side, it's like, wow, here's this huge natural spring and all this stuff's here, and nobody ever knows about it.
Right. The amount of stuff in there is pretty crazy, and some of those rock formations are just absolutely nuts. And the trails are, I mean, God, I don't know of anything probably harder around this area of the Midwest anyway.
Okay, so yeah, because that's what I play on all day. That's what I'm driving all my stuff on. It's like, well, that's why I was worried about breakover angles and stuff, because you'll have one rock formation and then sediment and then another rock formation. So you got to go to this little plateau before you keep crawling.
Right. And well, yeah, I mean, when I guess I'm talking about this, I'm mostly talking about full size rigs, but
oh yeah,
you know, it's the but yeah, I mean, it's Clayton it gets pretty gnarly through there. I know a lot of it, you know. Last time we were there, we were at Freelings, and we were down there with a group of early Broncos, and
Did you go up the waterfall?
At Mr. Freelings?
Yeah. Or is that Mr. Freelings? I forgot which one it is, but you come in, you deposit your money in the little tree, and you keep going up the creek, and it drives right into a waterfall.
Let's see. When we came in, I think Freeling, you put your money in there at an old gas pump.
On the left side?
You drive down the hill, and it's on the right, I believe.
Oh, okay. So this would be the other one. Maybe Green Acres, maybe.
Green Acres,
that was.
I can't remember where the money was. It was been longer since I've been to Green Acres, but we did do a pretty gnarly waterfall at Green Acres. Hold on a second. Let me go to my. I've got some pictures from Green Acres that were pretty interesting. Let's see what.
But yeah, sometime, I mean, if you guys ever want to go down there, that Kaimichi Trail is right there. And people take their full-size Jeeps and whatnot up there. But about halfway is the highest point over there. It's like, I forgot what the finish time is, like 2,800 or 3,000 feet. But like you can camp there if you wanted and then keep going. But
yeah.
I mean, full-size rig, I mean, you would have to have lockers just because of the erosion. But
right.
With the razor and whatnot, it's not that big of a deal.
Let's see. I'm gonna flip my screen. Let me change it so everyone can see.
Well, in the trucks and whatnot, there's that little mom and pop inn that's just on the southeast side, and we camp there, and they let us keep our trucks and whatnot there, and we just drive the razors to the trail and take off from there.
Okay.
So this was Green Acres.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
it should be. You take that little creek, and then right after, I'd say what? The waterfall.
Yeah.
Nice XJ. I have 2 of those.
Yeah, you got it. This was at beginning of Green Mamba there.
Yep. Yeah, right after that, you should have went up, and if you look off to the right, there's that trail that goes straight up the hill.
Yep.
Yep. And it says winch is required, and you're like, yeah.
This was after one of the big waterfalls. And ended up flipping that Bronco over.
No hand of God used in that one, right?
Not hardly. This was a super scary situation, actually, since you're in a creek and all that, and it was just a bad deal. But that's a beautiful Bronco, though, that he's got there. So, let's see.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, we took a brand new, actually stock JK Rubicon down that place. He's like, oh, it's a Rubicon, it could make it. I'm just like, dude, I don't think you understand what's there. He's like, no, we could do it. It's like,
the access roads in Clayton are pretty gnarly, so
yeah,
that place is no joke for sure.
Yeah, we did it. I mean, he definitely used his stock rock rails, but
right.
I mean, we made it over a lot of stuff.
Some of the obstacles in that area would definitely be a stretch for most vehicles, but I was gonna try and go down there. I don't remember last time, was it sometime last year, I guess, but it didn't happen. This year we're hoping to make it to the big meets run in Disney.
Oh yeah.
That's always just kind of a redneck fest, but
yeah,
should make for decent video.
Yeah, Mad Ram comes over for that with Tip.
Yep, all those guys, all the Tanners and,
Is he still even driving his underrated anymore, now that he's got the Ultra 4?
You mean Tim Cameron?
Oh, yeah.
I don't even, does he still have underrated?
I thought he did. I didn't think he sold it.
I don't know if he does. I know he's building a new one. Evidently, like, he'll be people that, he'll post pictures, and I guess I've been told he'll post like half a bolt picture and like super close-ups of shit that you know aren't good for anything.
Right.
But you know, so that's the. But yeah, either way, it's that underrated was probably the most underwhelming rock bouncer I've ever seen him build.
Yeah.
That was
but it did really well.
That was what?
I said, but it did really well.
You know what? I don't even really remember seeing it run. I just remember how ugly it was and how much I disliked watching it. I really enjoy watching rock bouncers a lot of times because they're really cool to see. You know, they do some wicked stuff for sure. You know, they do what they want to do with them.
Yeah, they bounce a lot.
Some of them are really cool looking, but that one I thought was one of the ugliest things I'd ever seen.
Yep.
I thought
but he would do something like the hill climbs and whatnot because it was so narrow and the CG and whatnot just was pretty low. He did really, really well.
I mean,
he's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I get practice and you know all that, but either way, I did not want to watch that buggy go anymore.
But at least, did you see where he finished in KOH? He got 14th.
Yeah, I did, and you know it's impressive. I mean, 17 people finished, and he was one of them. So
yeah,
it means it's not worthy of. You know, he's a driver.
Yep. But Bomber Fab pulled it out. They got it.
Yeah. Did you see all the controversy afterwards?
No, I saw like the first thing he did. It's like I want to thank everybody, but I'm sorry about what happened in the pits.
Yeah.
I was like, what did you do? Run somebody over?
Well, here's what happened: is the Shannon Campbell, him and his guys, they had just dropped the transfer case out of Shannon's car, and Randy came in, got fuel, I believe. I don't know if he got anything else. And then where the way his pit was located, he had to do basically a 180-degree turn to get back onto the course and keep moving. Well, he basically roosted the whole crew, and I mean, threw a lot of sand and debris and things like that at the car, at the crew, and probably in and around the transfer case and transmission.
Wasn't Shannon replacing the transfer case? I mean, the transmission? Wasn't that what he was trying to do?
I believe so, but they had just dropped the transfer case, was all.
Right, gotcha.
Shannon was very unhappy at the moment, and little did he know that had actually happened one time already that day when Randy had come in, got fuel, and then tore off again and actually caught Randy's tarp that they pit on top of. Either way, so it happened a couple, and then there was a couple reports of him speeding through the pits, which they checked the tracker and evidently it didn't happen according to the tracker.
Now, what was the speed limit through there? 35?
25 through 25 through one pit and maybe 15 through another.
Okay.
Either way, that there was no confirmation of him speeding. So in the long run, what happened is Dave Cole looked at everything and said, there is not going to be a DQ. There's no reports of him speeding, like actual, showing anything that he was actually speeding. And the report, the pit stuff with him possibly throwing dirt or whatever, that was not considered reckless driving because there was, it wasn't, I don't remember how exactly he said it, but basically he said it wasn't, to cause harm or anything like that, or in danger of causing harm or something along those lines.
Right.
So,
he didn't intentionally sit there and try to hit somebody in the head with a rock.
Right. So he basically just said Randy has to be the one to live with what he did, being a dick. Basically what he was saying.
Right.
That's up to him, and he expects something better from everybody in the future.
Gotcha.
So, that's what it all came. I hadn't heard much about it until after that point.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about it till he was, I want to say thank you, but I'm really sorry. And I was like, what happened?
Right. Yeah, that was the whole controversy of that part anyway.
Did you see the Evo 1 rollover with Mel in the qualifier?
Oh, Mel Wade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody has seen that rollover at least 50 times.
Yeah, that was in their commercial, was him just rolling it and just kept flooring it.
Well, God, he had that, that JK 3 feet in the air before it came back down and then rolled.
Yeah, he was still on the throttle.
Oh God! And once he rolled, he never let off of it when he came back around, and
yeah,
that was a pretty impressive little display. I mean, that was definitely the highlight reel.
Right.
There was. Did you catch the video afterwards of the guy who rolled his buggy off of the starting line?
Yeah, right off the start and the left-hand turn.
Yeah.
Over and over. How would you like to have been that guy?
Flag dropped. He goes 50 feet, makes a left, barrel rolls. Like, oh.
How would you like to have been that guy? Yes, I know. I flipped it on the start. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'm aware. Just let me go. Let me be.
Stop showing it, okay?
Right. Yep, that's unfortunate. Now, at this point, I'm trying to decide what I want to do with this stock fuel cell thing.
Fuel cell thing?
Well, it's got this fuel cell that sat in the rear, and it has kind of a fuel cell lid even. But it's not waterproof. It just has like a lip to help keep water out of it. And really the real reason that I'm kind of wondering what I want to do with it is because I put my BEC in there, and to do that I had to run the wires through and then solder on the Dean on the other side. So
right.
I have this situation where I can't pull the Dean out without either cutting the wires and then resoldering or cutting the fuel cell to remove it.
Right.
I'm leaning more towards cutting the fuel cell.
Then resoldering and heat shrinking?
Yes.
Do you not, I mean, what's it hurting being back there?
I just think once I'm going to have the bed and everything back here, it's going to,
Oh, that's right, you're Unimog that one.
Right.
Gotcha. I was like, well, it's hiding all your wires. It makes it look neater.
Yeah, I think I'll be able to get most all this stuff up front, though. So I'm cutting it.
Executive decision.
Somebody somewhere on the internet is screaming.
No, I need that.
Yeah.
That's $35.
It's probably closer to $5, but. And it's still not like completely foobarred. It's just like barely foobarred.
Oh yeah, so you could like liquid electrical tape that back. It'd be fine.
Yeah. You can hardly tell if there's a little scrape there.
Oh yeah, you'll be good. On that deadbolt, you move the upper links up. No, the lower links up. No, the upper links, right? On the deadbolt, that chassis that you put on.
Yep.
Now, is that to help eliminate torque twist?
No, that is to adjust the anti-squat value of the suspension.
Okay. But that's just on. That's not on throttle or on brake. That's just literally neutral, right?
No, that will have the biggest effect during climbs.
Okay.
So on power, it will want to push that. That force line of those upper links now should be over top or closer to pointing over top of.
It should push down
of the center of gravity. So now it should have an effect of trying to push the suspension down a little bit rather than trying to drive underneath of itself and lifting that rear end up.
Gotcha.
So.
Now, did you lift the rears as well?
I only lifted the rears.
Okay.
The front is 3-linked. So.
Oh, that's right, because you're panhard.
Right.
Now, since I didn't do the panhard, would it be a benefit to lift the fronts as well if it's still 4-link?
It very well could be. You'll kind of have to, lifting it a little bit should definitely help.
Gotcha.
You can play around with how much, but, and it's also less than half the weight of the stock chassis. So, for me, when I'm looking to compete with it, I'm trying to keep the center of gravity low, so reducing half the weight of one of the highest things in the truck now, which is the chassis, because everything else is starting to sit lower and lower.
Right.
So you cut over 2 ounces out of the chassis.
You gonna keep the stock Deadbolt body? You gonna get something with that's a little lighter?
Now, there's some advantages to the Deadbolt body, being that cage does count for scale points.
Gotcha.
So, I'm not in a super big hurry to get rid of it.
It is nice. I've noticed with the JK, because the body is so big, that if it ever leans, it will literally drag into an obstacle and just, you have to drag it along the obstacle and it hangs on everything.
Right. Now, the Deadbolt body is slightly smaller than the JK body.
Yeah, it's the G6 size, right?
Right, yeah, same size as the G6. Of course, it does have the shorter wheelbase as well. But, it's one of those things just like
0.3 of an inch going to be that much better.
0.4, half an inch, whatever it is. So it, it's not that significant. There we go. And but the body does have the pinch. And the other reason that I'm leaning more towards keeping it on there is because it is recognizable as the Deadbolt then.
Gotcha.
And that's more for the internet,
Yep.
I just don't. The thought a while ago was to convert it to like that Toyota body that I picked up, the hard body.
Yeah.
Because people do like hard bodies, and then the thought was to like make that hard body that same bright green.
Gotcha.
So, but for now, I think that body will probably remain, and then at some point, likely that whole truck will turn into another project.
Right.
It'll turn into just a custom project or some sort of other Class 2 rig that I want to build with, something more custom.
So can you give away if your 3 racing winch is for the Deadbolt or not?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got the winch, the 3 racing winch, the hot motor, so
right.
Over twice as fast, and then the whole free spool commando kit from Locked Up.
Wasn't the motor like 40? Or no, the free spool's like $40, and then the hopped up motor is what, like 25?
I think total the whole deal only came to like 75.
Okay. Because I have that winch in stock. It's running at 6 volts. It's not that impressive.
Right. You can run those things right on like 3S LiPo.
Really? Even with the stock controller?
Yeah. No, you need to swap out controllers.
To the hey, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
An spare ESC or whatever you got.
Have you ever used an ESC to power your lights just to get a variable brightness?
No.
You know what I mean, though? Because you can use a brushed ESC.
Yeah, if you put it to brush mode and did that, yeah, it would technically work just fine.
Now, on the motor side of an ESC, that doesn't change the voltage, right? It just changed the amperage?
No, it changes the voltage.
Okay.
Motors.
So you just have to make sure that your ESC doesn't put out more than whatever your resistors are.
Well, I mean, the motor or the ESC can only pass through a certain amount of amperage and voltage as well. It's got a what is it? Power equals volts times amps.
Right.
So, the internal components can only handle so much. So let's see, how is it exactly on that? Like a Mamba Max Pro, I think, is rated for like 90 amps.
Right.
And up to 6S. Now, I don't know if that means it can do 6S at 90 amps or not.
Which I think is funny. I mean, because when you're welding, like you were showing your TIG videos, you were welding at like 30.
Right, 30 amps. Well, and 30 amps DC.
Right.
Because I'm running DC only on that. It's not an AC welder. But yeah, I mean, so it. I don't know what the volts is though. So if I'm at, if I'm at 10 amps but 300 volts.
Yeah.
that is a lot more power than.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of variables there to definitely work through.
Our airplanes have way different speed controls because I have a jet, an F-86. I run a 160 amp ESC, and I run a 5,000 mAh 6-cell in it.
Right.
Right, and I guess 5,000, 6-cell 5,000. So yeah, that will.
Constant 120 amps.
What's that?
We're putting a meter on it. I can see that it draws almost a constant 120 amps during takeoff.
Yeah, that's not a small amount of power. That's for sure.
No, it's a it's a big EDF jet.
Right.
6 pounds of styrofoam.
That is a lot of styrofoam.
That's a lot of foam safe glue after you're done.
I've never been much. I've always wanted to get into planes, and I just haven't ventured that way.
The only thing I've managed to do with a plane is crash it.
I figure I'd be good at that too. So.
Oh, I love the planes are great.
I have them as well. I have some quadcopters, with the flight test crew.
What's that?
I said once the flight test crew started coming out and they got famous about DIY stuff. I made a lot of foam airplanes and after you buy the electronics, the whole plane costs $3 plus some hot glue.
Right.
So
and honestly, electronics for planes all seem to be pretty cheap.
Yeah, very.
Comparatively,
just like with anything, the radio is the most expensive part, but after you get that, receivers, and the best part is after an airplane, I ripped it through power lines. You go out and you pick up your stuff, you burn the airplane, and you try again later.
Right. That's definitely a little different scenario.
Yeah.
It'd be really disappointing if we had to start over on these chassis every time we had a bad day.
Yeah, it'd be just constant.
Yeah.
Now, do you still have a motorcycle?
I sold my bike year before last.
Now, what did you have?
I had a Hayabusa.
Okay, so did you have the new generation or the older?
No, mine was an 05.
Okay, so you had the original.
Yep.
First generations.
And I bought it new in 2005, and let's see, in 2008 or not, 2009, I got hit head on going to work in downtown Kansas City.
So is that what inspired you to get the job you have now?
Well, I was already in the hobby.
Oh, nice.
I've been in this hobby since 04. But I got hit head on, and at that point the bike was basically stock. So at that time I decided to build it all crazy like, and I built the motor and stretched it and lowered it and.
Did you put NOS on it too, like all the other cool people do?
No, I did not.
Did you put all the neon lights and flames on it?
It was everything was black. It was just made to go fast and get me in trouble.
Well, according to the internet, you did it all wrong.
Exactly. There was way too little chrome on it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things that were wrong with me riding a Hayabusa. I was not always in a very similar crowd when I was with like.
Did you use that right hand a little way too often?
Yeah, it was definitely but it was fun. So I liked going fast. I liked I literally only took it to the track one time ever, but I put a lot of miles on it. It was way more comfortable to ride long distance than my Harley was.
Really?
Oh God, I would ride that bike from Kansas City to Omaha and only stop for just a second to get gas and then get just right back going. My Harley, I would
be there in 3 hours.
Oh, I'd be there way faster than 3 hours. You get there in 3 hours in a car, but it
Oh, I forget. You're in Kansas. Or
I'm in Missouri.
oh yeah, you're on the. Are you? You're technically on the east side of the river, then, right?
Yep.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, we would, we'd head out. But yeah, I could ride that bike all day, super comfortable. My Harley, it just beat you. I mean, my Harley was a soft tail, and I had it lowered and all kinds of stupid shit on it too. But it was by no means as comfortable. So.
Did it have enough chrome?
That one I didn't have much chrome on either. I had a night train. And
Did you have a really loud exhaust?
I did have extremely loud exhaust.
Okay, so you did it right by the internet standards.
Right. It was dumb loud. I had Paul Yaffe crack pipes on it.
Did you miss your Hayabusa brakes when you're driving it?
Well, you see, I did it backwards. I had a Harley first, and then I got a Hayabusa.
Oh, okay. I would say that's a smart decision.
I got the Hayabusa because I was sick of working on Harleys.
I could see that.
We had a custom motorcycle shop when I was in college. My family did. I stopped doing that when I got to the point where I needed to get an internship and things like that in the career that I was planning on. So the Harleys and things like that took a back seat, and then when I didn't have any more time to work on them, it became much more of a frustration to own one that would constantly need work. So
right. You ever gonna get a new one? Anything like an FJR or something? Just some kind of cruiser?
I would definitely consider getting something like I would get a Street Glide or even a Road King.
Oh, okay. So back on the Harley side then.
Yeah, I would go at this point. I would probably get a cruiser.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of cruisers other than Harleys.
Yeah, but if you're gonna have a cruiser, it might as well be a Harley.
I guess I like my brakes too much. And
I couldn't own an import cruiser. I would just.
Oh, you can do the import, Speed Demon, but you can't do an import cruiser.
Yeah, no, couldn't do it.
I mean, I'm not saying you gotta get like a BMW GS or something. I mean.
Now. There's a handful of bikes that may, sway me one way or the other, but I think that it'd probably have to be a Harley.
Gotcha.
Well, I think that now that I've basically stripped everything else off this car except this GCM kit, I'm going to call it.
So you should have started just with buying parts first instead of the kit?
Well, I mean, basically, I put the kit on, and now I understand that everything else needed to come out of the back because it's all cleaned up now. With this GCM kit in there, it's I'm much more free to electronics up front. I'm gonna have to figure out an interior. Let's see, what are my parts for this thing?
You're gonna have an ESC for a passenger seat.
From your Vanquish friends, do you know they're going to do anything axle-wise for that thing?
Hopefully. I can't say for sure, but hopefully.
Build some Curry or Dynatrax or something for it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, hopefully something. See, this is a Toyota interior, and it basically fits this body pretty closely. But if I try and set it on top of that, I end up with a significant body lift.
Yeah, that's what that's all the cool people do. Their Jeeps.
Yeah.
Body lift it.
Now, I guess if I compress the suspension, nope, still too far. So that idea is going to have to get axed.
Choppy, choppy.
Yeah.
Do you do anything with the scalers in Clayton?
I've never have taken an RC down to Clayton.
Gotcha.
We've always just been down there to wheel the big ones. And
Gotcha. I mean, there's really nothing else to do in that town other than that. I mean, they have a Dollar General and a gas station that is the grocery store.
Yeah, and that gas station that is the grocery store has like the best breakfast ever.
Yeah.
I remember we were well, first time I was down there ever. We went down. We were with a group of like 8 people, and I was just a tag along, and so we all had breakfast, and I was just like, all right, I'll get breakfast. You know, thanks for bringing me down. It was a good time camping and all that kind of good stuff. I was like, I'll get breakfast. And got 8 people's breakfast and like 2 bags of ice, and I went up to pay, and she goes, that'll be $22. I was like, what?
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a big like 6-piece French toast breakfast, you know, was like $1.60.
Yeah. Which did you go to the one that was it only had like 2 pump stations, or was it the one that had a whole bunch of pump
I
stations?
think it had quite a few.
Because that one closed down.
What?
Yeah, I was actually in that one because the river is actually right there where I was doing surveys. And when I came in there, they just made all their lunchtime food, so they had that big hot box full of chicken strips and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we got to shut it down. Apparently, they didn't pay their taxes or something. But yeah, if it was the nicer, like the Valero or whatever,
The
that one closed
$1.60
down.
breakfast put them out of business.
Yeah.
I mean, everything was literally like what it would probably cost you to go take it off the shelf and make it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the one where it was like the food and stuff was on the right side of the building, and then the whole left side was a grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep, that one closed down.
Oh, well, that sucks.
It was closed down. Let's see, I went over there day before Thanksgiving. It was closed down.
Oh, man. Yeah,
But the other one in town is still open.
Right.
But it's just got like your little, what is it, pizza thing, whatever they are, just a generic gas station pizza.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Casey's some sort.
Yep.
All right, fellas, that's it for tonight. I'm done.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Thanks for stopping in, guys. Good seeing you.
Later, Josh.
See you guys later.
We'll see you.
Later, Josh.